Okay, so for this week's homework, we're looking at June 2017, Unit 1, going through the first 9 questions. Starting with question 1. Write down the next 2 numbers in the following sequence. So I can see that this pair is dropped by 10. And then to make this jump, I've dropped by 9. Then this jump, I've only dropped by 8. This jump, I'll drop by 7, so 8 take away 7 will be 1. And for this jump, I'll drop by 6, so 1 take away 6. Think of the negative numbers. Please be careful because it's the negative numbers that keeps costing us marks in our mocks. So thinking of your negative numbers, here's 1, here's 0. If I'm going to drop 6 units, then I'm going to end up down on -5. Question B, find the value of 2x plus 7y when 2x is 2 minus 3's and 7y will be 7 10's. 2 minus 3's will be -6. 7 10's are 70. Don't forget the rules of Bidmas. I've got to do the multiplications here before I can do the adding up. And back to that number line, -6 is way down here on the number line. And then if I add on 70, this time I'm going up the number line. So -6 to 6 will take 6 units to get to 0. And then there'll be another 64 units before I run out. So -6 plus 70 is going to be 64. Question C, we've got a mixture of K's and M's and we've got to talk about simplifying. So to start off with, I look at this 8k here and this -2k here to see that I've actually just got 6k. Start with 8, take away 2. And then as I look at the other letter, the M's, I start off with 3 M's. And then I take away 8 M's. So I'm back to that number line again. And I start off on a +3. And then I go all the way down 8 spaces past 0 down to -5. Question 2. Write down 0.5, 15% and 7 out of 20 in ascending order. It says that I must show all my workings out. So to get these 3 marks, I need to have done some workings out, or I'm only going to get 1 or 2 marks at most, not all 3. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change 0.4 into 40%. 15% I don't need to change because 15% is already a percentage. And then 7 out of 20 I'm going to change into a percent by making it a fraction out of 100. How many 20s do you need to make 100? 5 of them. And whatever you do to the bottom of a fraction, you also do to the top. So 35 out of 100. Or 35%. So now that I will have them all as percentages, 15%, 35% and 40%, it's easy to put them smallest first. Smallest would be that 15%. The middle value would be that 7 out of 20, which was the 35%. And the largest one would be that 0.4, which was also 40%. Question 3. Question 3, we struggle with the transformations, so please go through and try as many questions on this topic as you can. It asks us to reflect the triangle in the x-axis. So this axis here is our mirror line. This is the mirror, and our triangle is going to be reflected into the space below. So this is the mirror. Be very careful. Make sure that you really understand x-axis being the mirror line. And then as I can see that there are 3 spaces up from the mirror line to the actual triangle, there will be 3 spaces down. And whereas at the moment the right angle triangle is sat on 3, for us it will be a reflection. So that will be the top of my picture, and it will be reflected with the right angle below the 3. Question B. Question B starts with the keyword enlarge. This doesn't always mean that it gets bigger. Enlargement in mathematics can be bigger or smaller depending on the scale factor. But a scale factor of 3 actually means that all lengths, all widths, in all directions will become 3 times bigger. There's no centre of enlargement, so I can draw this enlargement anywhere on the picture that I want. This side that used to be 3, this side that used to be 2, and then the hypotenuse, the longest side, which just joins those two together. So now across the bottom for me, it's going to be 6. And up the side here, where it used to be 3 times as much, so now it's going to be 9. And then to get my right angle triangle, I just need to join them together. So the 3 became a 9 on this side here, and the 2 across the bottom became a 6. But now everything has been enlarged by a scale factor 3. Translate is one of those words that has 2 meanings, and if we were sat in a French exam, you'd think that you had to change it to a different language. But in mathematics, a translation is a slide or a push. So it's going to move the object around the page. Being told here to go 3 squares to the left and 2 squares down could have been given to you as a vector, where the pair numbers are in a bracket one on top of the other. 3 squares to the left would have been written as a -3. 2 squares down would have been written as a -2. Left and down are shown as negatives. So if I pick this corner here as my starting point, and I go 3 squares left, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, that's where it's going to be. And then it tells me to go 2 squares down, 1, 2. So here I have the location of the right angle corner in my new picture. So my new triangle is 2 squares tall, 4 squares across the base, and that right angle triangle for every corner has been moved 3 squares left, 1, 2, 3, 2 squares down, 3 squares left, 1, 2, 3, 2 squares down to make my new picture. That's the translation, left and down. Question 4 is probability. A fair 6-sided dice is rolled. What is the probability that a 4 is shown on the dice? Circle your answer. So 4 only happens on the dice once, and there are 6 possible answers, so it would be 1 out of 6. 50 raffle tickets were sold at a charity event. Sean has a 20% chance of winning the top prize. How many tickets did Sean buy? For a 20% chance of winning the top prize, Sean must have bought 20% of the 50 tickets. So to work this out, 10% of the 50 tickets is going to be 5 tickets. 20% would then be 2 of those. So she must have bought 10 tickets. Part C, a bag contains a mixture of blue, yellow and pink beads. 1 bead is taken from the bag. The probability that the bead is pink is 1/5. Which of the following sets of beads could have been in the bag? Circle your answer. Well, if pink is 1/5, that means out of the total beads in the bag, the pink number of beads must cancel down to 1/5. So for example, in this first bag, pink is 3 out of the total 15. In this bag, pink is 5 out of 15. In this bag is 5 out of 7. In this bag is 1 out of 11. And in this bag it is 6 out of 15. So if it was worth a fifth, when I cancel these fractions down, it should cancel down to 1 over 5. So 3 goes into 3 once and into 15 5 times. 5 goes into 5 once and into 15 3 times. Nothing goes into 5 and into 7. Nothing goes into 1 and into 11. And 3 goes into 6 twice and into 15 5 times. So out of all of the bags, this bag here has pink as having a probability of 1/5. Question 5. Team A and Team B play in a competition. Team A has 9 more points than Team B. Team A has 4 times as many points as Team B. How many points does each team have? So the language here tells me that A has 9 more points than B. So the B points, add an extra 9 is A. A has 9 more points than B. So if I knew B had 10, that means the A had 19, 9 more points. And in the second sentence, it tells me A has 4 times as many points as B. 4 times as many points is a different language. This means multiplication. So if I knew how many beads B had, A has 4 times as many. Because these are both equal to A, they must both give me the same total or the same number. So the B plus 9 is going to give me the same answer as having the 4B. So I can see now that that 9 must be the same as 3B's. And if I divide both sides by 3, a B must be worth 3. So if B is worth 3, A would have 12 beads. So it has the 3 plus 9. That gives me 12. Or it has 4 times 3. That also gives me 12. So this little bit of algebra that I created here was how we figured out how many points Team A and Team B have. Question 6 is a combination question. These are really easy marks. Try and be methodical so that you've got some order and so that you can keep an eye on making sure you don't miss any out. Because missing any out is really the only mistake you're possibly going to make. David, Jane and Mary are beach inspectors. 3 beaches, Harlech, Rhyl and Porthcawl, are being inspected on a certain day. It is decided that to share the work, the inspectors will visit 1 beach each, chosen at random. List all of the possible different ways they could share the work. One has been done for you. So David with Harlech, Jane with Rhyl, Mary with Porthcawl, or David could have said, I'll go to Rhyl, making Jane say, then I'll go to Harlech, and Mary's still going to Porthcawl. Or David could have said, well, I'll go to Porthcawl. Jane could have then said, well, I'll still going to Rhyl. And Mary said, I'll go to Harlech. So now I've had David go to Harlech, Rhyl and Porthcawl. So that's David's 3 options. And I've had Jane say Rhyl, Rhyl, and Harlech. So Jane's not been to Porthcawl. So Jane could say she was going to go to Porthcawl. David could have stayed with Harlech. And Mary would have had to have gone to Rhyl. and so on. David, shrill, Jane, Porthcawl, Mary, Harlech, David, Porthcawl, Jane, Harlech, Mary, shrill. So now that I've done 2 options where David's gone to Harlech, 2 options where David's gone to shrill, 2 options where David's gone to Porthcawl, I'm just going to check the same for Jane and the same for Mary. So Jane has 2 options where Jane has gone to Harlech, 2 options where Jane has gone to Rill, and 2 options where Jane has gone to Porthcawl. Mary has 2 options for Porthcawl, 2 options for Rill, 2 options for Harlech. Part B says, what's the probability that one of the female inspectors visits Rill? Well, here's Jane going to Rill, and here's Jane going to Rill, and here's Mary going to Rill, Mary going to Rill. So there are actually 1, 2, 3, 4 options where a female inspection is going to Rill out of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Out of 6 possible combinations. Question 7.